Hello students and friends, I am Manoj Verma from Mumbai in India, and in this video I am going to discuss a topic from buffer solutions. In fact, it's going to be a titration curve, and the titration curve that I'm considering is a titration between a weak acid, that in this case is pentanoic acid, against a strong base, which in this case is potassium hydroxide. So as we carry out the titration, what are the different pH values that we get at different points during the titration? That is what is called as the titration curve. And we are going to discuss this, and I have taken a particular question from Pearson Edexcel International Advanced Level October 2023 paper, which is the unit 4 in chemistry, which includes rates, equilibria, and further organic chemistry. I found that this question is of general importance, and if you understand how this question is solved, it will be helpful to the Pearson Edexcel A-level students, as well as the Cambridge A-level students, and also the students appearing for their IBDP exams. So let's go ahead and go through and solve this paper. So the question says that pentanoic acid is a carboxylic acid with a Ka value of 1.38 times 10 raised to minus 5. A student was asked to titrate 25 centimeter cube of 0.12 mole per dm cube pentanoic acid solution with 0.100 mole per dm cube potassium hydroxide solution. The equation is this, and the teacher asked the student to sketch a graph showing the expected changes in the pH as potassium hydroxide solution is added. The student first identified 4 key points for the sketch graph using 4 calculations on 1 chemical equation. So for such questions, it is helpful that a student tries to visualize what is happening, what is being taken in the flask, and what has been taken in the burette. So just for the convenience, I have shown here that in the conical flask, 25 centimeter cube of pentanoic acid has been taken, and its concentration is 0.120 mole per dm cube, and we are adding from a burette 0.100 mole per dm cube concentration potassium hydroxide solution gradually, and the pH values will be recorded from the conical flask at various points. So after having this picture in mind, it will be easier for you to understand what is happening and how we are doing the calculations. Okay, so volume of KOH added in centimeter cube is being shown over here, and how the pH changes in the conical flask, so that while values are being plotted here. So let's go to the first question. At key point 1, before any potassium hydroxide has been added, the pH is 2.9. Use a calculation to justify this value. Okay, so as you can see here that I showed in the picture, that before any potassium hydroxide has been added, that means we have only the pentanoic acid in a conical flask. So we have to know what is the initial value of the pH in the conical flask, and remembering that pentanoic acid is a weak acid, so the formula that we use for the concentration of hydrogen ions for a weak acid is the root of the Ka value times the C value. The Ka value I have taken from the question, which is 1.38 times 10 raised to minus 5, and the concentration of the pentanoic acid 0.12. Putting these values into this formula, we can find out the concentration of H plus, which turns out to be 1.2869 times 10 raised to minus 3 mole per dm cube, which can also be written in this form. Then we can use the formula of pH, which is the negative log of the H plus ion concentration. And on solving this, we get the value of pH as 2.89. So that clearly shows that the initial value at key point 1 is the pH 2.9. So it justifies the value of 2.9 being shown here at the key point 1. Okay. The student deduced that the pH at key point 4 must be less than 13. Use a calculation to justify the student's deduction. You are not required to calculate the exact pH of the solution. So if you look at the key point 4 here, the titration has been completed and some excess amount of KOH has been added. So in the flask, you can see that here we have the last point that we get in our titration curve, the key point 4, that this pentanoic acid has been completely neutralized and excess of KOH has been added. So we can actually find out the pH of the pure KOH, and KOH, remember, is a strong base, so it completely ionizes, and the concentration of OH minus ions is the same as the concentration of KOH, which is 0.1 mole per dm cube. And we can find out the POH, which is a negative log of the OH minus concentration. The OH minus concentration is 0.1, so POH will be 1, and the pH is 14 minus pH, which is 13. So if it were pure KOH, the pH would have been 13, but this KOH is present in the conical flask, and there is some volume of pentanoic acid also present here. So the KOH has been diluted, and therefore it will be less alkaline, and therefore the pH will be less than 13. So that justifies that the key point 4 must have the pH less than 13. The exact value is not required. Okay, hope you are following my discussion and the points that I'm explaining, the calculations that I'm explaining. Hope you followed so far. And so now let's go ahead and do the third part of this question. The student deduced that the neutralization point of the graph at key point 3 would be 30 centimeter cube. Use a calculation to justify the student's deduction. So the neutralization point occurs at 30 centimeter cube. So if you look here, the key point 3, that is the neutralization point, and the volume is 30 centimeter cube. So how we can arrive at this value of 30 centimeter cube? So first let us find out how much is the number of moles of the pentanoic acid that we have taken in the flask. As you would remember that we have taken 25 centimeter cube of the pentanoic acid in the flask, and its concentration is 0.12. So if you find out the number of moles of the pentanoic acid present in the flask using the formula C times V, it is the volume converted to dm cube and the concentration, and we get 0.003 moles. That is the number of moles of the pentanoic acid, and because they react in the ratio of 1:1, the volume, the number of moles of KOH required for the neutralization is the same, that is 0.003 moles. So since we need these many moles of KOH, we can find out what volume of KOH would be needed if its concentration is 0.1, and since the volume is N over C, so the number of moles is known, the concentration is known. The volume would be in dm cube, obviously, but we generally mention the volume in centimeter cubes. So we multiply this value by 1000 and we get the volume of DQH required for the neutralization, which is 30 centimeter cube, and hence this is the correct deduction that the volume required for the neutralization would be 30 centimeter cube. Hope you understood this calculation. Okay, and then when you reach the point 3, that is the neutralization point, or the pH would be greater than 7, even though you have added equal amounts of you have neutralized the pentanoic acid by adding the exact amount of KOH, but at that point 3 the pH would be greater than 7 and not 7. How can you justify that? The justification is that we are reacting a weak acid with a strong base, and we get the salt, which you can see here, which is the potassium pentanoate salt, and it's a salt of a weak acid and a strong base. And since the base is stronger than the acid, the salt would be alkaline in nature. It would react with water to form some amount of base and the acid, but the acid is weaker and the base is stronger, so the base dominates over the acid, and therefore the pH would not be exactly 7, but it would be slightly greater than 7. Alright, so hope you understood. Remember that at the equivalence point, when a weak acid and strong base have completely neutralized one another, the pH is not 7 but greater than 7 when it is a strong base and a weak acid. Okay, and the point that now you have to understand is the key point 2, where 15 centimeter cube of potassium hydroxide has been added and the pH is 4.9. So you have to now understand a very key point during the titration of a weak acid with a strong base, that when you added exactly half the amount of the base required for neutralization, which was 30 centimeter cube of the base, but now you have added 15 centimeter cube, so that's called the half neutralization point. And at the half neutralization point, the amount of the acid which is left and the amount of salt which have been formed, their number of moles become exactly equal to one another, and therefore this ratio becomes 1, and log of 1 being 0, log of 1 to the base 10 being 0, the pH becomes equal to pKa. So that is at the half equivalence point. So you can find out the value of pKa given the value of Ka, and you get 4.86, which is approximately 4.9, to two significant figures, and therefore the pH at the half equivalence point, that is the key point 2, would be 4.9. So this is the concept of the half equivalence point, and how at half equivalence point the pH becomes equal to pKa. So these are the 4 key points in this graph, which can be then joined together to get a smooth curve which would look something like this. So thanks for watching this video, and hope you understood the key points in the titration of weak acid with a strong base and the pH values at these 4 key points. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you like the video, please give it a like and subscribe and share it with your friends. Thanks a lot.